No, we're going to war.
I think this is very, very serious. I think this has big implications because there's a lot of. I mean, it's the World Trade Center, and that's what's interesting is that was the first target. Why didn't they go to the Pentagon first?
Well, they're saying on the news because they wanted to use it as a decoy so they could get to the Pentagon. Was the theory, but really that's a catastrophe in itself. And I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I have a I have even a weirder theory, but I don't know.
Which is?
No, it's really deep. No, I don't know. I think it's too weird. Like how does like all the security and you can't get into this country, and all the security that goes on to get on flights. Like how does it's just too coordinated.
So it's sort of internal. It's not. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Look at the sky. You don't see any jets. I've never seen this in my life. Every day I come out here and I see the flight path right there.
Yeah, I watch it from my deck.
There's 10 lined up. Do you see any? I see a blimp over there. There are the news. There's helicopters on the other side of the building. But do you see any airplanes? I don't see one single airplane in the sky. I fly overseas all the time. And it's like when you're on a 17-hour flight, where do you go? They're like diverting them to Canada. I mean, this is serious. This is just like that. Just like that. This is pretty. This is too. I mean, it was a 767. Those things cost like $80 million. I mean, this is too eerie. Like it's like, and like there's this weird feeling. Like what? And then I looked up the window. Like it looked like a movie or sign. Made me think of what's that one movie where the water crashes or whatever?
Deep Impact.
Yeah, Deep Impact. I was like, oh my gosh, how could that happen?
I was listening to Howard Stern. On Howard Stern, they had a congressman called in, and he was just saying, America will never be the same, which is obvious, but just the amount of security measures in our daily life after this.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to move to. This is going to be an emergency state almost for a second, I think. I mean, we're effectively. Right now, I mean, I've never done any military service, but I would imagine we're like, on a scale of 1 to 10 or code yellow, red. I mean, we're like basically code red almost.
The weird thing is, though, it's not.
Nobody knows that. That's what's funny. Nobody realizes that. This is really serious.
Well, it's huge. There was supposedly several hijacked planes in the air all at the same time.
But what I'm saying is the general public is completely clueless of what's going on. They don't realize the seriousness of this and how their lives are going to be affected. They have no concept.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know. I think it's a Trojan horse to do what I said in my subject heading: awaken.
Taped earlier. The president made that statement. It was videotaped. We just heard it, and here it was just played on the networks as well. And then the president was actually moved. We don't know where the president is. He was out of Washington at the time of these terror attacks, and he was in Florida, and then he was moved. We was told to Louisiana, where I think he made that statement, which was taped, which we just heard on 1010 Winds, saying the military is on high alert, and also that we are being tested, and we will meet that test. The president speaking there, but he apparently is being obviously well protected, and perhaps even being moved around today as a precaution. I'm not sure if Matt Ward is still there now because he's got an update on travel. If not, we've got plenty of reporters standing by. Matt?
All right, Ralph, we do want to remind everyone that there's limited service on Metro North out of
这估计警察在那里过去的。
什么电我啦？
你也往下想对吗？啥电可以？不过你看我看不清楚。Watch back, watch back.
Can't even brush on it.
I was walking to work at just before 9, and I saw the smoke billowing into the sky, and I was wondering what was going on, and somebody said terrorists ran a plane into one of the buildings. So I ran into my building and I saw, and then I ran down into the street, and I just things that came from the building. After the building fell, That's all that was left of it. It just
that was just laying on the ground.
Yeah, it was on a car. This is what came off after the building fell. They said it literally disappeared. The building. I was listening on the news and I was watching from the window the trade buildings, and Peter Jennings, they said he never saw anything like it, as if the building just disappeared. And this is what it was. And there were, I talked to another guy. He filmed the whole thing. He said he saw 17 people leap from the top of the building, and he said he saw 5 people hold hands at the top of the building, around above the 80th floor, and jump off the top of the building. He said it was surreal. Believe it. He said he lowered his video camera because he said he didn't even realize. He just said, I've never seen anything like this, and he was floored by it. And then I just talked to a reporter who talked to another woman. She said that they were in the bomb blast, the one that happened before. And they
92, you mean?
Yes. And she just said that, I don't know if it was 92 or whatever year the last one was, and it was 3 older ladies. They were on 82nd floor, and the plane had already hit, and they were on 82nd, but someone found a door, and they got down, and they kept going down the stairwell, and it was so much smoke or whatever that nobody could see or anything, and they kept going and going and going. It took them over an hour to get down, and then the woman at one point turned around, and she said that there was a head in the stairwell, and she said, turn around, keep going, keep going. They got out the door. When they got out the door, the exit, and they cleared the building, just as they got away from the building, the whole thing collapsed. And the woman told the reporter that it was like an angel had saved them. They felt like an angel had saved them because those 3 ladies were in the previous bombing, the bomb that went off that happened at World Trade Center before. And they made it from 82nd floor. They made it out. And the girl, the reporter, I was talking to her, and she said she was there. She had interviewed them, and then as the building came down, she said it was as if it was an avalanche where the snow followed you. It was just like slush in the streets following you. She was running as fast as she could, and it just kept going, and she couldn't see a thing. And the guy grabbed her hand, and they looked for a building, and then they finally, felt their way around. They got a door, and they got inside where they could breathe. And she said you couldn't see a thing from outside. And she said it was just unbelievable. I started asking all the police, where can I volunteer? They told me like 5 places. I kept going this way and that way. Then I walked across, seemed like I walked across town. And then finally I got one place and they said, we're organizing for a search and rescue. And I've been there like all day, but a policeman said probably they'd use professionals and they may not even use us, but everybody's still waiting. We've been there from, I don't know, what time is it now? It's 5:30. I've been there since, I guess, 11 o'clock.
Right or wrong, if I'd have met you for the first time, I'm your friend.
So
bring him back by again. He's all right. He's good company.
So what you're saying is you had friends?
Of course, we all had friends that lived in there. We might not have known them per se, but we had friends. Everybody had friends that lived up in there.
It's not open? It's not open?
No, West 4th. I gotta go back down there. They're bringing the casualties in now. A few of them. BMCC, right there at BMCC. They got an EMT set up right there. You know what I'm saying? Go there. You do whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? As long as you know what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Take a look around. Okay? Think how to get upside?
I was too salad.